All right, everybody. It's coming in a little late today. Sorry about that. Got other things got caught me off guard. But I am here, and it is get my voice cleared up. Excuse me. Let me mute myself to get my voice cleared up here for a second. All right, we back. We back. My voice was a little cracky there. I'm just now getting over a cold over the last week here. So just want to welcome everybody back. Those that will be coming in, we appreciate you. And hey, it is Saturday, baby. We're gonna figure out what's going on. First 12 days in to the new president, and of course, we see that he is all over the map with everything he's doing. He's everywhere. It's DEI. You got planes falling down. It's just a hot mess with this guy, right? And not only that, he wants to do a trade war. So hey, let's figure this thing out. Let's see what he's doing. Get my mic adjusted there. Sorry about that. See what he's doing and try to figure out what's going on because the last couple of days it's just been somewhat crazy. I don't know about nobody else, but just looking at everything, the layout, how everything is going down, the stuff that he's saying, he wants to do a trade war. Good luck with that. He's talking about battling down with Canada, Mexico. He's talking about doing it with China. And here's the thing, whether you like him or not, he's doing what he said he's going to do at the end of the day, right? Just create hostility. That's what his first presidency was. That's what this one's going to be. Because guess what? You talking about doing a trade war with, let's say, Canada? Well, guess what? Everybody, your gas price is getting ready to go up. We get so much oil from Canada, it's unreal. All the wood products come from Canada. There's so much. Oh, you're going to tax Mexico? You're going to, well, which is a tariff, is a tax. You're going to put a tariff against Mexico? There's not a car part that we get in this country, basically, in theory, that don't come from Mexico. So look at it this way. Every car we got out here, right? You look at all the cars you got going on and everything, a part comes from Mexico. So you're going to tax that, and I'm going to call it a tax or the tariff because they're the same thing. They just worded different, right? So now you're going to pay more. So now that Cadillac Escalade that's $180,000 now it's going to be 210, right? So that car that was 35,000 now is going to be 38, 39. How is that helping American citizens? So for those that voted for him, oh, he's going to bring jobs back. How he bringing jobs back? He ain't bringing no jobs back. He killing jobs. At the end of the day, firing people left and right with no rhyme or reason. Just I'm gonna get rid of this person. Screw it. I don't like it. You got DEI. That's a whole nother subject right there. I'm gonna jump into in a few because even that he's got that whole thing miscrewed or screwed up. However you want to say it, right? He's got it all messed up at the end of the day. So let's take it step by step, right? Oh, and let's not forget the immigration. He said he was going to do certain things on immigration. Well, guess what? He did 2% of what he said he's going to do. It cost $50,000 to send 80 people out the country. 50,000. Then they sent the plane back. Then they had to work something else out, right? So you mean to tell me you only getting 80 people at a time? I know ICE is better than this. So I'm just looking at the whole three-card Monty show going on. This guy ain't really trying to do nothing, just line his pockets. And look, I don't knock a man from getting his money. Now, don't get it twisted. I never knock a man for getting his money, but the facts are the facts. He ain't doing nothing what he said he's going to do. He's doing partial. And for those who think, oh, immigration, hey, he got something coming down the pipe on the 19th of this month. I'm waiting for that. We're going to get into that. That's going to be talking about birthright citizenship. And if he goes the way he want to go, a lot of people ain't going to be citizens in this country. I don't care what your color are. You're not going to be a citizen if he do it the way he want to do it. But we're going to see, right? And then he's let Elon Musk just run shot all over the government. So it's like, what we doing here? What's this guy doing? It's just all over the map. And it's just one big ball of confusion. Nothing's really coming to the table with what he wants to do. How are you going to move the country forward, right? So you can't move the country forward and then you shut down a system, a paying system that the government used for the country. You're going to shut that down, right? We're going to go see what's going on. So now, how do people get paid for dealing with Medicaid when they got to make purchase, Medicaid billing, stuff for Social Security? How does that help the veterans, right? It don't. It's just one big old hot mess, man. And that ain't the word I wanted to use, but I'm not gonna cuss. But that's just one big hot mess. That's all he's got going on right now, and I still haven't seen anything of significance. Everybody keep talking about he gonna bring the gas down. So let's start with that. How he gonna bring the gas down? We got 2 refineries closing this year. ExxonMobil has already said they are maxed out to capacity to how much they can drill. So they're not drilling no more. Saudi Arabia has already told them they're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe like they did last time. So now he hoping he can get somebody throw him a bone. So now he's looking, maybe we'll go to Venezuela to try to get some oil over here. Because he know once he hits that tariff with China, it's over. It's over. We saw what happened last time when he did the tariff with China. What happened? He had to give out $32 billion to the farmers. $32 billion because he decided he going to have a tariff war. So China said, all right, we ain't going to buy you soybeans. And they're already set up now to where they're getting these soybeans out of Brazil. So once again, the farmer's going to be hurt again. Now what's going to happen? Now you're going to have all this product nobody's buying, right? So how's that helping the country? I'm still trying to figure out how is that helping the country, you know? And you got those out there, oh, he's going to do something for trucking. What is he going to do for trucking? What is he going to do? I know we got this hot thing with the lease purchase. They may be banning it. And it's 6 to 1 1/2 a dozen with me on that if they do or don't. But at the end of the day, this guy's showing he's not doing anything for trucking. Nothing. He hasn't talked about infrastructure bills, none of that can help trucking. Nope, nothing. No, we're not building anything. All he want to do is, well, I'm a tariff. I'm going to tax everybody to death. Like, that's going to really make a difference. So, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but in the next 6, 7 months, if we keep going on the same pace, we'll be back in a recession again because of him. At the end of the day, we're going to be in a recession. That's just it. You got farmers complaining. They ain't got the workers. They're not showing up. You know, you're going to get some American to go out there for $6 an hour and pick broccoli? I don't think so. How many of y'all going to go out there right now and sling some watermelons? You ain't going to do that. So at the end of the day, they might as well bring them people back over here. Because let's be honest, the American public is not going to do that kind of work, whether you like it or not. It's not going to happen. You can hang it up. So what he's talking about doing with immigration, it's garbage. He ain't talking about doing nothing. The market is already reacting to him. And guess what? He's actually tanking. I said tanking. He's tanking the market when you look at it for what it really is. That's really what he's doing. So to me, I think he's kind of planning to crash this economy because he know his voters and some of the people that didn't vote for him, he know his voters are so idiotic that they will go along with anything he say. That's one thing I will give him credit on. His voters stand behind him so he can say some of the most ridiculous things. When you look at everything this guy said from the first 4 years up to now, and we want to talk about DEI, the standard has been lowered so low to get this guy into office again. And we see it, right? What he says, I've got the best words. I don't have the best words. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you like that. But he talks like a third grader. But he's got the best words, right? You asked him, well, what happened with the plane crash? No condolences, nothing about the family. Oh, DEI. You're blaming it on DEI, right? Which has been around for years now. This didn't just start. And DEI don't just mean black people. The majority of people who benefit off of DEI are white women. This is statistically true. You can look this up. And if somebody want to prove me wrong, do it. I put the call-in line up so you can prove me wrong. But at the end of the day, this has benefited white women in this country. Nothing against white women. Love everybody in this country, regardless of your color. But these are the facts. These are the facts. So you want to get rid of something that's benefiting this group of people. Okay, well, they don't know that they're getting benefited by it. So that's why they say, yeah, DEI, get rid of it. DEI is there to help the veterans get jobs. Has anybody thought about that? So if you remove the DEI, what does that do for our veterans? Right? Yeah, some of them may have a slight physical difficulty. Doesn't mean they can't do the job. And if someone say, oh, well, if they got a slight physical ability, then they shouldn't do the job. Are you serious? I'm in trucking. We've all seen guys out here trucking with missing limbs, literally driving with the hook. They hooking it all down the road. Ain't nobody said nothing. They getting out there, they making it do what it do. So this reality of DEI, because they put a black face on it, and people are falling for a hook, line, and sinker every time, no matter what goes on. they fall for it, right? So it's almost like you got to ask yourself, is it race first, or we're living in a world where common sense should play some kind of factor in how we view things, right? Not even just common sense, just having the basic knowledge of what we're talking about. Like I said, DEI, it's been around for a long time, right? So he blamed DEI dealing with the military helicopter and a civilian plane. He blamed DEI on that, but he don't take credit for actually letting go the head of the FFA. He don't take no credit for that. He ain't bringing that up, right? Because people trying to figure out where's the head of the FFA. He got rid of him. They've already starting to let people go. And if we didn't see this before, this goes back to Ronald Reagan when he did what he did, when he fired all those air traffic controllers. They had to bring them all back, but they bring them back non-union till they were able to restructure. So this is where we're at. It's like you guys just not getting it over and over. He just says whatever he wants to say, comes off the cuff, right? And when he comes off the cuff, everybody just says, "Oh yeah, that's okay." We don't fact check it, nothing. Just okay, yeah. If he said it, it's gold, it's gospel, and it's just a straight up lie at the end of the day. So I'm just trying to figure out why have we lowered the standard down? Because people want to blame Obama. Obama was a DEI. Obama was DEI. But if you look at the two in comparison, just on the educational level and a train of thought level, he can't hold Obama's water at the end of the day. We all know that. But let's circle back again, right? So we running with the DEI. We got the immigration going on at the same time, right? And now this whole big thing about who they're going to get out the country and how they're going to get them out. You got certain states that are trying to say, okay, if you're an immigrant and you're not supposed to be over here and we catch you in our state for committing a crime. And I'm not talking about murder, not talking about like that, but hey, there's cost for everything. If you commit murder, you deserve to be in life, or if that particular state has a death penalty, you deserve that. But they're not even talking about a crime that's that harsh. They're just talking about, let's say, theft in the state of Mississippi. If you are illegal in the state of Mississippi and you commit theft, you could be in prison for the rest of your life. This is what they're proposing to take an effect around, I think it's July the 1st, give or take a few, right? So this is what they're posing to do. So they're coming up with all these draconian laws in some of these states to match what he's saying. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost you more. He's already talking about sending illegals to another country, jail them there, and he's going to pay that country to jail them. So we ain't got no money for the American citizens, though, right? We got all this money to fly these people all over the place, but we ain't got no money for the American citizens. Somebody got to help me make this make sense, man. Because the guy's just running and running and running and running, and he's just running in a circle. That's all. And everybody's trying to follow him, right? It's like playing dodgeball, but except everybody throwing a ball that's invisible, so he can't get hit. So that's why he keeps dodging and running and just saying whatever he wants to say. And it sounds good to a low information voter. It sounds good, but the reality is the reality. You can't tell me half of y'all are validating this foolishness. So the plane crashed because of DEI, but his White House secretary is a woman. So she's there because of DEI, right? He's trying to pick, what's that lady name? Linda McMahon. Everybody knows her from Vince McMahon, wife. If you're into wrestling, you know who I'm talking about. They want her. I think the position is over education. How did she get this position? She ain't qualified for that. And this is a woman that's basically in court right now trying to settle a lawsuit, a sexual lawsuit that's being put against her. So this is going to be who he wants to represent Department of Education, if my memory is correct. This is who he wants, right? So now he's picking DEI hires, but yet tell you, oh, we don't want any more DEI hires. And some reason people keep getting DEI hires conflated with black people. When you look at every job that does do DEI hire and they show you that they do, we're only 7 to 8% of the people hired through DEI. That's just facts. Like I said, somebody got better information. When I put the number up, you can call in. You can tell me, oh, no, you're wrong. and I'd be happy to listen, or maybe we'll debate it. Doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, DEI don't just mean black people. It truly doesn't. And I think that's why his followers are harping on it so bad. You know, the young lady in New York, Letitia, I think her name was Letitia James. Oh, she was a DEI hire. The guy in Maryland, when the bridge got hit by that ship, right? Oh, he's a DEI. What do you got to do with the ship? You see what I'm saying? But then if it's something that goes on their watch, oh, we have to do an investigation. We have to look into it and see what's going on. And it's like, come on, man, cut the crap. Cut the crap. Right. So this is to all my conservative brothers and sisters, right? Y'all voted for this at the end of the day. Tell me what am I supposed to be? What am I seeing that I'm not seeing? Because I would like to know, what is it that's going on that I don't know behind the scenes? Because I keep hearing you, we're gonna make America great, and I don't see America being great, or is what they're doing. America's resilience. That's what it's going to take us to make it great, our resilience. But what he's doing, he's just lying his pocket. He's on a witch hunt. He's already said it. They're setting up to go after everybody who apparently either tried to put his friends in jail or did put them in jail. So this is we're on a revenge tour now. This is the Trump revenge tour we're on. You see, now what happens when a Democrat get in office and they want to do the same thing? Y'all going to be silent? Y'all not going to say nothing? We spent 4 years, everybody talking about Pete Buttigieg, right? And it was butchering the man's name. Oh, he was horrible for trucking. We need somebody who knows trucking, be a part transportation. We got somebody that don't know trucking. And everybody's like, well, we just got to work it out and give them a benefit of the doubt. See how that works. All the big social media guys have been talking about. Let's see how that works and, give him the benefit of the doubt. And what did he say? They're looking at infrastructure to figure out, will the autonomous truck be beneficial to the American public? So let me get this straight. Y'all complain. You complain 4 years. Oh, they're trying to take us out the truck. Pete's trying to get the autonomous truck. They trying to do this. This is what they want to do. And here you got the new guy in, and he's saying the same thing. He ain't saying it word for word, but he's saying the same thing. He's just using wordplay. Literally, same thing. I thought we was gonna get the eggs price down. Eggs prices ain't down. Matter of fact, people I'm talking to in different states, they've stated their egg prices went up. So we're going to see if the gas price is going to go up with this tariff that's going on. They can't say it's winter blend. We're not going to fall for that whole, it's winter blend. No, we've been in winter, right? And I live in Connecticut, and it's been under $3 a gallon since October. I don't know what y'all gas prices been all around the place. Even some of the diesel prices I'm seeing across the country are way higher than where we are here. So we're going to see if that price change. That price change, he owns it. Now he get to have that little sticker on the 87 octane saying, I did that, like they did with Biden, right? And don't get it twisted. There's a lot of stuff Biden did I didn't like, but he's no longer in office, so I can only go at him every now and then. But Trump's in office. He's leading the ship. So by him leading the ship, guess what? I want to see what he's going to do, because right now, all I'm seeing is just straight up manure from this guy, straight up horse manure. That's all I'm seeing. Just always kicking the can. It's everybody's fault. It's not my fault. That's the stuff that he wants to do all the time. It's not my fault. Not my fault. Get out of here. You want to get rid of all these illegals, but yet you hired them? You hired them when you needed them? Now, he's admitted that. That's no secret. He's hired them. We talked about that when we talked about H-1B visas. He hired these people. But yet he's going to tell you they're bad for you, but they're good for him. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I get it. See, he can do what he want to do to benefit him, but let you try to do something to benefit you as an American citizen, not going to happen. You don't get the right to do all that. You see, that's the irony of all this. You don't get that right. Take a little swig of this water. At the end of the day, you get to sit here and do like I do. You sit here and complain. That's what I'm doing. So you're gonna get to complain the same way, as they always say. Everybody wants to sell a little peanut butter on their celery till they realize where the peanut butter came from. And now, oh, I don't want that. They crying foul. So hey, ain't no need to cry foul. This is the way it works at the end of the day. So we got to figure out once again. The man said he gonna make America great, right? And all he's doing, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, is just lining up his pockets. That's it. He's just lining up his pockets as much as he can, get all the money he can make, because he's not trying to move the country forward in any way. He's worried about buying Greenland and changing the Gulf of Mexico. Just the wording. That's what he's focused on, buying Greenland. So wait a minute. I find it ironic that the government, and I'm speaking against the Republican Party right now, that they will say we don't have money when the citizens need something. They would say we don't have money to try to get our citizens skilled and trained for the jobs of the future. We don't have money for our seniors. We don't have that kind of money. But you want to buy a country? We got the money for that. Oh, yeah, we got the money to go buy a country, right? So they've lowered the bar so low, and they understand they can use this guy any way they want to, that they're sitting there trying to figure out how to come up so that he can run for a third term, which you're not supposed to. They ended that after Roosevelt when he won 4 elections. So, but they're trying to figure out a way to do it, right? So it's like they keep moving the bar for him, but at the same time, they're lowering the bar. And this is a man who says he's the smartest man out there. He's got the best words, went to Wharton Business School, did all that. And we got to keep treating him like a kindergartner. Oh, he don't know what he's talking to. Yeah. Well, he didn't mean that. He meant it. They say what comes out your lips is what's in your heart. So he meant what he said. I'm not sure what reality world you guys are living in, but he meant what he said. If he didn't mean it, he wouldn't have said it. Am I right or wrong? If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong. I know I'm not wrong. So I'm not even going to debate nobody on that. We're not just going to be saying stuff just to be saying it. There has to be a rhyme or reason to why we're saying what we're saying. Help me understand, right? So, and then it shows the guy has no empathy for anybody. Anybody. You see, no empathy. And the only reason he had to show some empathy because of what happened in Philadelphia, he couldn't just run in there and talk, oh, DEI. This was a whole nother issue that caused this plane to go down, which I'm so sad to hear about. And I've actually seen the videos of it going down. So if you haven't seen it, take a look at it. It's kind of horrific. It actually reminded me of, I thought about it, reminded me of Ramstein, Germany, when they had the plane crash there in 87. I actually was there and watched it about 50 to 100 feet away when those plane crashed and fell down on the ground. So that's what it reminded me of. So my heart goes out to those people in Philadelphia. I can understand what they're going through, but you can't get this guy. I'm gonna say this guy can't get him to show any empathy. He has to come in the door, kick the door in, and blame somebody. So you've got a military jet or military helicopter and a passenger plane. Oh, it's DEI. Yeah, so high. Oh, I just know. How do you know? How do you know the arrogance of this guy? He just knows. You got to be kidding me, man. This was the best we could put in office, whether you like that VP Harris or not. And I can say I agree with everything she was going for, or even if they were to put anybody else up there. This is the best we got to represent the country. It's got to be somebody better than this. But this is what we're stuck with, and they're just running amok. Literally, they're just running amok. They've got all these new agencies. Oh, we're going to cut government spending. But hey, guess what? You got to pay the agency to cut the spending. So what are we robbing Peter to pay Paul now? Because that's what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like we're doing. And about everybody he's bringing in, they've been under investigation one way, shape, or form. So it's like, okay, what are we doing here? What are we really trying to do, right? But See, the kicker, in my opinion, or as I used to say, the caveat is not the tariffs. The caveat is going to be one of those executive orders that he signed, because he signed so many and nobody knows what he signed, at least out here in the public, right? They're not telling us. But what they are telling us, they're getting ready to look into birthright citizenship. And according to the Constitution, birthright citizenship was only granted there for the descendants of the slaves. Now, we did have one guy go in, actually to the Dred Scott, and I can't remember the Asian guy. They took it up to the Supreme Court after the Chinese Exclusion Act, where they wanted to try to see, was this guy really a citizen according to the Constitution? But if you read it right, when it comes to birthright citizenship, they're not. They're just not. So if your family came here and they were illegal and you were born here, the way he's trying to do it, you're not an American citizen. You may have to go. We may be able to take control of all your resources. So for the Vivek Ramaswamy, the guy who spent his whole time running for the presidency, constantly attacking black people, guess what? If this goes into play, you're not a citizen here. You're no longer a citizen. There's a lot of people in Congress who are second generation Americans, right? When I say second, the parents came here, they were not born here, they were not legal, but they're born and now they're American citizens. Oh, that could be torn up. This might be a good thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound racist, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be addressed through the Constitution. And for everybody to say they want to follow the Constitution step by step, I'm with you, but there's a lot of things in there. It just don't represent the time, and it is a living document, so we can change it. My biggest fear is they have a Constitution convention where they go in there and they start amending and taking things away. Now we may not have the country that we have. We may not have the democracy that we've been fighting for all this time. Oh, well, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to say fighting for. The democracy that they've told us that this is what we have is a democracy. Because we're seeing right now, we're no longer in a democracy. When you can send somebody through an executive order and just go through an agency and just shut an agency down, that's not a democracy. Where our generals, and you decide, you know what, I'm stripping them of rank without even letting them go to trial through military. That's not a democracy. So this is what we're seeing happening. And at the same time, nobody's saying anything. Everybody's just like, oh yeah, that's Trump's crazy. That's what Trump do, you see? So it's been this crazy reaction as long as it hurt this group of people, right? You look at all these people, the Palestinians, oh yeah, we need to do something. Trump's gonna do this, and we got to get immigration together. The large part of Hispanics, not all, but a large part of Hispanic. Oh, we got to get immigration together. Well, now they're seeing ICE going up into these places, and now they're on every social media website crying like, oh, I can't believe. Why you can't believe? Why you can't believe? And what are they doing? I don't care if you're on Instagram. I don't care if you're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, fan base. It don't matter. Lemon 8, I don't care which one. They all saying, well, we all need to get together. No, we're good over here. We're not falling for that trick no more. You decided this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. So now you deal with it. Because they're not talking about immigration and kicking us out. We good. We good over here. We stand. It's everybody else that they trying to put out. And now everybody else want to what? Come over here, expect us to be a sacrificial lamb again. We did it enough in the 60s, man. I don't know about nobody else, but I'm tired. I ain't doing no marching. It is what it is. We're going to sit back and watch everything play out. We ain't getting involved no more, just talking about it. That's all we're going to do is just chop it up with each other about it, but we're not getting involved. Now, we're going to let them play their own game. My mama used to say, you lay in your bed hard, you make your bed hard. So that's what a lot of them are doing now, because Trump is going to make it really hard for them. You can take that to the bank all day, and that check will cash. It don't matter if you got an EFS check. That's going to cash right there just because of what he's talking about he's gonna do, but he's just doing it so, I don't want to say unprofessional, right? And you can't even use the word. Well, he's unorthodox. I don't even want to use that. I just think he's just winging it to see which one works the most. Well, if my approval ratings go up, I'm gonna do this. Well, if they don't, well, I'm gonna do this. Right now, this is a guy. And I want y'all to think about this. This is a guy who stated he was sending military into California to turn the faucet on. Turn the faucet on. Like miraculously, there is a big old valve in the state of California, right? Around 3 to 4 foot wide, and you need such a big old wrench to turn this valve all the way around, and then all the water gonna come into California. And you know what? You got people on social media believing this dumb stuff. Literally, they're believing this is gonna happen. Literally, yeah, he's sending the military in there to do what? What they gonna do? Now, we know the Corps of Engineers are some of the baddest builders on the country, so we know they can take care of assist in this fire and try to get this thing taken care of and over and done with. We know that the Corps of Engineers are no joke. So we're going to give our military their credit, but they're not going to sit there and turn no valve around for you. And all of a sudden there's water flowing from Washington State all the way down to California. You know what kind of mudslide you're going to have? Now, you do have a family that owns a lot of water in that state, and maybe he gonna work something out with them. Like, hey, release a couple gallons, release a couple million, I can kind of get this fire under control. I can look good because it's all about, guess what? Him looking good. As long as he looking good, he cool with it, and we see that reality all the time, right? Now, he done pulled us out of who? World Health Organization. He pulled us out of that, right? Now I'm 61 and a half dozen on that one, right? I haven't got much opinion on that other than the fact is, you won't be working with other countries when we got these diseases going around and everything. But now we got to worry about bird flu here. And we saw what he did with COVID. So y'all better hope we don't get something else come around and be in the same situation as COVID, because he's just gonna deny it. And you're gonna have more people. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I don't have the bird flu. Well, you got something. You're getting everybody else sick. So we need to figure something out, at the end of the day. So we got to figure out what's going on. How are they going to work this thing out if we do have something that gets going similar? I'm not going to say like similar to COVID. COVID was pretty bad. It just depends on what area you lived in at the time. So, but these are all the things that we got going on in this country. And I'm watching this guy over and over basically decide no matter what, nothing's my fault. It's not my fault if, and I'm using the word if, the gas prices go up because of the tariff that we getting ready to put on Canada, right? The home prices go up because the tariff we get ready to put on Canada. If your car prices go up because of the tariffs, they're going to put on Mexico. If you're looking at buying that new tractor trailer, the tariffs may cost it to go up because a lot of them are made in Mexico. Now, he only did 10% with China for right now, but we all know China's smart enough to circumvent around all this kind of stuff. They're not stupid. See, that's why he had to only do 10% because he knows China has some huge buying power at the end of the day. And this whole notion, Canada can be part of America. And everybody's, yeah, that's a good idea. Hold up. How y'all going to want Canada to be part of America when you don't even want the Canadian healthcare system? You think the Canadians are going to want to come down here and literally take our healthcare system, whether you like it or not, but take our healthcare system, right? And basically say, yeah, give me that healthcare system where the doctor could be performing an operation. This just happened recently. Doctors performing an operation, insurance company calls, say, hey, we ain't paying for that. In the middle of the operation. You think that's what they're going to want? Really? You see how stupid this is. when he just spews off anything, and it sounds good to most people. Now, everybody that voted for him don't agree with everything that he does, so I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to paint everybody with a broad brush. I'm not doing that. But there are some that are there, hook, line, and sinker, and they just don't have no clue at the end of the day. They just running with it like, screw it. Yeah, I'm going with this. This how it's gonna be. So it's like we've 12 days and all the stuff that's transpired in these 12 days. He don't have an answer for anything other than blame somebody else for those problems. That's his answer. That's just it. I'm just gonna blame this person. I'm gonna blame this group. I'm gonna blame this. Oh, the media's not being fair. He's already starting with that crap again. The media's not being fair. You see what I'm saying? He even has his own House press secretary making a statement. Do you want to know if the person is qualified, or do you want to know what color the pilot is? See that throwing that red meat out there, right? So now, if we're trying to get to a colorless world, then why don't we take one on the applications? You shouldn't be marking whether you're black, white, Indian, Native American, or other. You shouldn't mark none of that. It shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. If we're going to get rid of all these standards, little DEI, I'm saying DEI, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of where it has up there, are you a felon? Because if a felon can be the president of the United States, you can't tell a man that's a felon he can't go work at a job, whether it's a McDonald's or trying to get into a union job. He should have the same right because we have a felon as a president. And that was just facts. He got charged with felonies at the end of the day. Whether we want to hear it or not, facts are the facts. The man got charged with felonies. So I'm trying to figure out why we lowered the bar so much for this guy. You know, we always like to say we're undervalued and marginalized, right? And there's one more to it, but I'm still getting over my cold, so I can't remember half the stuff that I want to say. And we talk about this, but at the same time, we understand when we come in there and we apply, we're expected to outperform everybody, but we will lower the bar specifically for this guy. We're just going to lower the bar and watch him have temper tantrum. Oh, I'm going to tear up this company, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, right? And granted, he's going to do it, but it's not going to work the way that we think it's going to work. At the end of the day, if you don't know, a tariff is just a tax. Somebody has to pay that price. So the notion of you're going to put 15% tariff on Canada, I'm going to keep using it. And that 15% now brings that barrel oil from $60 to $75. Who's paying that $75? That means it's going up at the pump. So you voted the man in to pay more money at the pump, and you've been complaining about more money at the pump, right? He done said he can't bring the prices down when it comes to goods and service. He stated that, but he ran on, guess what? I'm going to bring the price down. Y'all ain't going to be paying all this money for eggs. No way. And then you're paying more money for eggs. Now tell me how that worked out for you. You see? See, everybody got caught in this whole limelight of certain things and without running backwards to bring it up. But we got caught in all that, but we never get caught in the issues that really count. That's what our problem is. And this is an American problem. I don't care what color you are, black, white, green, blue, and there are some blue people. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to be more informed on the issues, man, because we're literally the walking dead at this point, right? You can ask 5 people the same issue, and if you give them time enough, you have 32 answers, and they're all different. Just give them time, because if you pin them down, then they're going to come up with another one, right? And they try to put it all together. Then when they really realize, oh, I messed up, then oh, well, what about this? What about you just paying attention? Because this is why we're in the shape we're in right now. You see, this is why we're in that shape. So it's like, all right, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure something out. I'm about to drop the call-in number. Let me get the thing up here. A couple things I wanted to do. And hey, listen, got a couple in here, and I got the number going across the screen. If anybody want to call in, take your time. You don't have to rush. 203-464-9449. That's the call in number. Call in, chop it up. You can use a fake name. Doesn't matter to me. Just no swearing if possible. If anybody can respect that, and we go from there. Because I want to hear from somebody. Everybody ain't got to do it at once, right? It ain't like we got 80 people in here watching, hanging out, right? So I know that's not the case. So, but in reality, yeah, I dropped the number. So if somebody want to call in, they're more than welcome to. If not, I'm gonna keep on using this beatbox lips I got and keep running my mouth, right? That's what I'm gonna keep doing to let somebody want to call in. Like I said, 203-464-9449. And getting back to my man Trump, right? I just want to say to everybody, them eggs ain't going down. The price of eggs ain't going down. I know you want it to, but they ain't going down. Mm-mm. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? I got a comment here. Let me see what Ghost is talking about. All right. Mr. Ghost said, you think after Trump leaves his seat, will Canada let him in? They're tough on felonies. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that they will make exceptions for him. They're gonna lower the bar. Give me 1 second. I think we got a caller coming in. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, can you hear me? Yeah, give me 1 second here. All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh man, OB man, calling from the great state of Texas, baby.
Oh man. All right, y'all. Y'all been asking me where he been. Here he is.
Man, what's going on with you, Theo, baby?
Oh man, ain't nothing to it, brother. Just trying to make some headway, take some stream, a little steam off my day for the stress. What's been going on? Well, we talk all the time. So what's good with you today?
No, man, everything's all right, man. I see you up there. I'm catching this video, and I'm at the shop, and I'm hearing you, right? I'm hearing you, man. You're going in. You got the foot on the opposition next, right? And I'm not going to get too much political because I'm going to just talk from the business. They have free will to adjust market prices. I seen it with Republicans. Hey man, we gotta. You see them Democrats over there taxing you? People like, yeah. Then they raise property tax in their own communities, but they sell it different. They say, oh man, we got to improve schools and improve the infrastructure. But for the last 27 years, you guys have been saying the same thing. We raised the price in order for this. the people, we got to start thinking about what are we injecting ourselves with mentally.
Hold on 1 second, OP.
It-
For some reason, they're saying that you're coming in, but then you're going out. They can hear you, but they can't hear you. I muted myself. I got your the Bluetooth all the way up, so I'm not quite sure why you're not coming in all the way. You know what I'm saying? Now they just say you're back. So keep on spitting. They'll let me know when you go back out.
All right. So I think that we as a society need to start checking ourselves and taking accountability. Okay. It's easy to find somebody to blame, but we got to stop wanting a superhero that's out of our household, that's not in our household. We need to stop wanting a superhero that doesn't know our experience. I've noticed that people are looking for a superhero, and the superhero they are looking for is a political candidate. Political candidates will give you one thing, but trash 10 other things. They will give you affordable housing, but no infrastructure, no public transportation, poor hospitals, poor schools. But they'll tell you, hey, we accomplished this. And people say, okay, we need another government agency because the government will tell that to the people. Government say, you know why we couldn't fix this? Because we need another agency. So we need to expand our powers. We need to limit your powers.
Yeah.
When they say DEI, when I look at DEI, I have no qualms about people wanting their identity to be noticed. I have no qualms. Mm-hmm. But that's not what our government was designed to do.
Correct.
Because when we start doing this, you're never going to win because you got people that say, okay, you just can't be black. You got to be black, this, and this. And then you got this other group say, I'm black, but I'm mixed and I have this, and this. Then you have this other group. See, it's a never-ending cycle. And then the government is like, okay, now let us get some government agencies or some political parties to represent each individual identity. And before you know it, government is 99% of control of our everyday living. Let's just face, I say all of this to say this. We need to face the fact that things ain't going in reversal. Every time a new season, a new winter is upon us, is another different way of living. We need to take responsibility for the things we see right now, and that biggest thing is our children. See it.
Yeah.
We want a superhero. We don't have our children. We want a better business, but we don't even have personal accountability skills. We want to be wealthy, but we don't have critical thinking skills. We want to move far, but we don't even apply ourselves. We constantly want to, oh, you need to be cheaper. If it was cheaper, what would you do? Just be greedy. Hell, most people eat like they got good health care insurance. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be eating that. Oh, then when they get sick, they should give me free health care. Eating all that sweet. Let's be real. The world is not perfect. It's never. The world is not even designed to be perfect because we have this thing, natural born freedom. So that means at any given time, we could change our ways, ideal, implement different changes. We could do that. It would never be one accord because we have freedom. And what the government does is restrict. They restrict. They regulate.
Correct.
So I just say I had to call in and tell people, hey, man, if you're business owners out there, if you're mothers, fathers, and your parents, your number one thing, your number one enemy is you.
Yes,
it's you. It's not going to get cheaper. You just need to learn how to afford it. And that's one guy told me. He said, man, things ain't going to get cheaper and things are not too expensive. The problem is, you don't know how to afford it.
Yeah.
Figure out how to afford it. Move on. That's it. And not everything is made for everybody to have. If that was the case, then everybody be sleeping with everybody else's wives. But it was not designed for you that way. And that's what life is. Figure out what works for you. But man, I just appreciate for you letting me have this platform. I ain't been on thing in a while, but
well, everybody been wondering where you been. So what you got going on? I know I did want it. I'm not gonna lie, I did want it OB to call in it because there was a Porsche that you was doing some work with, and I had never heard of that car. Of course, I like Porsches. All I ever know was the 911, right? That was supposed to be the top dog, but then we conversed and talked, and there was a $500,000. So let me say it this way, y'all. There was a $500,000 Porsche in the shop getting worked on by yours truly, OB, D&L Design Collision. And what was the name of that car? Just in case.
There was a Porsche GT3 RS.
2025, right?
2025. Fully carbon fiber body. The car was designed, made only for the racetrack, but it's street legal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a limited production vehicle. That is a car that you have to make $1 million. And I'm talking net, not gross, in order just to afford it at its base model.
Correct.
So the car came in, customer reached out to us. They heard about us. So they trusted us with a $575,000 Porsche for only 83 miles. So the dealership had the Porsche delivered. The customer had the dealership had the car delivered to us. We took delivery of the vehicle. We had to install a carbon fiber package that the customer acquired. Now, the customer did spend an additional $180,000 for the factory upgrade carbon fiber, which means the car body, the entire vehicle body was carbon fiber. The hood, carbon fiber. The doors, carbon fiber. And it was equipped with racing glass, lightweight racing glass. That was another $40,000 option. Mm-hmm. And then it had racing wheels. It cannot be rotated, and they are directional. Each wheel stays on that particular side of the vehicle. Ceramic rotors, ceramic brakes, full exhaust system. The car was just suede interior. The car was just beautiful. So we had to install a $70,000 carbon fiber kit on the vehicle. So we was able to accomplish that. And I was just mind blown. I was taken back to see that it's people out in our everyday society. Mm-hmm. They are spending $690,000, not financed. $690,000 on things that they want. And this was just a vehicle.
Correct.
A vehicle, but they entrusted D&L Designs, and we accomplished it. We knocked it out the park. We dropped videos on our social media page, and that's what it's all about, providing quality service and knowing our demographic. We service anybody and everybody. Yeah. But we are being established as, hey, when you are wanting things done from collision or us dealing with your insurance company or insurance adjusters, or you have a small project or you have your pride and joy that you want to entrust the shop with, and that's insured, licensed, and bonded, it's D&L. We use high quality items. We are sponsored. Our paint, we have mixing banks. We have everything that the top shops, collision, high production shop has. We have exactly everything they have. But yeah, it was quite interesting. I did not sleep at night, I got $620,000 before tax.
Yeah,
just right there, man. It's very intimidating.
Yeah. I can imagine. And I thought during the the Lamborghini, what was done for that, I thought that was going to be stressful. But then when you text me and says, "Hey, check your phone," I'm like, "Okay, right, that's yours," and we started joking.
Yeah,
About it. Like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, and like I said, I was still stuck with the Lamborghini stuff. You know what I mean?
oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh
yeah.
man. So we was not going to drop it. I was not going to reveal it, but I posted on social media. We are doing some paint and body work for the fastest Lamborghini in the world. Let me. It's documented. I put the proof out there. They're number one. They've been on YouTube. Any race channel on YouTube got these guys Lamborghinis. A Lamborghini Huracan. It's the fastest one in the world. Over. I can't say the exact number. I cannot say it. Can't disclose that.
Correct.
But I seen the exact number. And that number is over 2,000 horsepower to the rear wheels.
Wow.
Not at the engine, not at the flywheel. Rear wheel, touch ground, over 200,000. So we had to do some paint.
Yeah.
And that car paint, it required 12 different colors. We have a mixing bank. So we don't call in, have Lamborghini drop off paint. We don't have another company make our paint for us. We do it all in-house. And the customer requested that the paint match the OEM Lamborghini Huracan paint.
Correct.
And he did not want us to blend or mess with any other panels. He wanted us to correct that one panel, which is multiple pieces. I can't say it right now because we're going to debut it. But we was able to paint the car and satisfy the customer with a exact color match. And we are getting that car prepped up. Car is getting prepped to be revealed here in March at the Texas 2K.
Yeah,
the car will be. Yeah, it's going to be at Texas 2K, and we have another event. It will be another event going on too as well. That's going to be on national TV, where fingers are crossed. You'll be seeing DNL on TV. But yeah, Lamborghini, Porsches. We haven't did a Ferrari yet. We got our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Getting the Ferrari into the shop. But yeah, the exotics. Yeah, we've been playing with it. But the Lamborghini, those cars are uncomfortable. The race one.
Yeah.
The seats. You would think you would see a Lamborghini be like, wow, massive, wide, low to the ground, right?
Correct.
But when you sit in it, you are literally in a race car. It's hard seats. Everything is lightweight. You know, you gotta sacrifice something, right? It's not like you get into a Lincoln Navigator or a Cadillac Escalade, right?
Correct.
Where you got plush seats and no, you get into something that's fully carbon fibered out or lightweight aluminum, and the seats are hard. You got your radio, basic, your AC. Some of them don't even work because it takes horsepower from the engine or the motor. Mm-hmm. But it's basic. But the thing is, it is fast. It's a feeling. You can feel the engine, V12, a V12 engine at 2,000 horsepower, just sitting there idling. It makes you want to break the law. you know, ain't nothing touching you.
Yeah,
yeah, but it's high maintenance. With higher horsepower. It comes responsibility of maintenance, tear downs. You will scratch something. Something will happen. It just you cannot avoid that.
Correct.
But being into those high exotics. It is very fascinating. And then to meet people, the meet the owners. They are down to earth. Some of the owners are very down to earth. You wouldn't even know that they owned a car because, they're not walking around with a Lamborghini shirt or, gold watch or anything flashy.
Correct.
But I met one of the customers, they drove a Corolla, a Toyota Corolla. Had the car delivered, and that customer showed up in a Toyota Corolla after. Or I had a customer that took an Uber. They took an Uber, and they had 5 Shelby Cobra Mustangs.
Correct.
And all of the vehicles was truly modified. They was fully modified. When I say modified, I'm talking over 2,500 horsepower on street tires. These cars was wow. Hey, he took an Uber up to the shop. He couldn't drove his cars. He took an Uber.
Yeah.
And when the car's done, he sent for a tow truck. He come and verify the vehicles. And he had an Uber, not Uber Black.
Yeah.
No, just a basic Uber. Just a basic Uber, man. And it changes your perception. It's like, these people are not flashy.
Yeah.
Well, these people.
You got that kind of money. When you got that kind of money, what do you got to prove, right? When you can go and buy a $500,000 car, or you can take a $200,000 car and invest so much in tuning just to win a race that you almost at $1 million. So who you trying to impress?
Yes. Hey, most of I had to ask that question.
Yeah.
And one of my customers said, I own multiple businesses. Just the customer. He was like, yeah, I own multiple businesses. And I always have anywhere between a 15% to 21% for profit margin. And he said, I base my business, I've been in business a long time, and that math worked for me. Comfortable. He was like, well, I started to get tired. Of my business, started to get bored.
Yeah.
He did not like the casinos because he said that the risk was too high. So the ratio for winning and losing was never in his favor. Winning was not in his favor. He said, I got into modifying vehicles because one of his friends raced cars. And he's like, I watched the man make less than 13 seconds because the race was 10 seconds from green light to finish line. And it was 3 seconds for them to walk over and hand my friend $100,000. He said he invested $400,000 into the engine. He said, but over time, just on race winnings, he was at $2.3 million. He became a millionaire betting by the seconds. He said, that's where I put my money. He's like, the profit margins are so great. He said, when you lose, you lose. But it's more of a controllable environment because I'm racing in different categories and I'm picking who I want to race against. But what got me was $100,000.
Wow. Well, it sounds like to me he ain't gonna stop no time soon.
No. No.
Kind of money he throwing around, he ain't gonna stop no time soon. I guess he's got a point. 13 seconds, $100,000. Yeah, I can work with those numbers. Now, of course, we're not talking about what it took to get to that 13 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the meat and potatoes of it. But yeah, that's wow, that is something right there. But like I said, man.
It always motivates you, right? Like you were saying, you don't know the meat and potatoes, but you know it's a possibility.
Correct.
You know that it's possible. It's just what are you willing to do? And looking at the exotic cars and I talk about, because I deal with insurance companies,
Mm-hmm.
depreciating value in a depreciating asset, right? What is your return on this investment, right? Now, I hear it from both sides. People say car is a bad investment because it's a depreciating asset, but it depends on what you have the car for and what car do you choose.
Correct.
You got to realize that some people realize that they are going to take an L if they have the consumer mindset and say, I'm buying this car just to cruise around town, just to show people I have money. You're losing money while you're showing money. And some people buy these cars to say, I'm going to make this car into the next Kentucky Derby racehorse.
Mm-hmm.
So they infuse their ideology with some of the baddest mechanical skill technicians out there, with some state of the art machinery, and they take a $250,000 investment and they create a $1.2 million fund. Now, it's not that simple, but the end goal, they didn't wait 20 years. They didn't work 40 years. Some of these people do this within a 1 to 4 year time period. And that's what's so fascinating.
Yeah. Well,
That is.
But if
Yeah.
you take that, you said 1 to 4 year, right? And
Right.
you can take that and incorporate the same thing that you did with DNL. You got me? So we're
Yeah.
coming up on the 1 year at that facility, right? And
Right.
with that 1 year, once that 1 year mark was hit, and I'll say a little bit before 1 year, but let's just say 1 year. That's when you saw the growth, right?
Yes.
You know, now is the flexibility of a high-end car versus the everyday get up in the morning Joe Blow needs work done on his car. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I see what you're saying when you say that 1 year is your starting point, right? And a lot of people there, especially with what that guy was trying to do, you know, they'll give up within, I know me, 30 minutes, man. I'm looking at all the money I done spent, and this is the best time I'm getting, and the best time is nowhere near the worst of the best times. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, yeah, this ain't for me, but persistent always pays the bill at the end of the day, you know.
Yes, being persistent and consistent, and just having that drive and and keeping in the back of your mind. At any moment, you can fail when you choose to fail.
Yeah.
At any moment, you can fail if you choose to. You got to make the adjustments. And meeting new people from different walks of life, different political background. It has done something where I look at people at their personality core. I don't care if you're on this side, this color, that color. In business, your personality core, because when I'm invoicing the individual. When I'm taking a compliment or a disagreement from a customer, because we have that.
Yes.
I'm dealing with a personal, with an individual. So, with all that being said, when people talk to me how they became a millionaire, I don't look at the fact that they are a millionaire or they own these exotics. What is your drive? Because you've done something where you failed.
Yeah.
Well, you failed. You failed somewhere.
Yeah.
But you didn't give up. So what is your drive? And most people, they love the challenge. They're like, hey, man, I filed bankruptcy. I lost my home. I had to give up something. When I gave it up, it was the last straw. I said, nah, I'm never going to do this crap again. I'm never going to give this up. You know, we all got those vices, right? And that's why I'm on sidetrack. This is why I don't knock anybody with a vice. If somebody say, man, they got to smoke all day, hey, man, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, you got to stay functioning now. As long as you function, do whatever you got to do. But that's what's fascinating. You know, in this world that we live in, prices are high. Okay,
Yeah.
Prices don't discriminate. Everything is fucking high. Do you think that people get up in the morning time and say, "Hey, I want to buy the most expensive shit"?
Yeah.
And people, I got guys tell me the perception about people with money. They say, "Oh man, people with money can afford it." They are cheaper than people with money that I say are more frugal with their spending than a person with an overdrawn bank account. Person with the
You made my Newport laugh come out. You ain't lying. You ain't lying about that, man. That's a true
man,
statement.
you get questions. You get the who, what, when, and why. Like, why are we doing this? How this is going to improve it? Can we get by with the standard? Why do we have to upgrade? What is the need of the upgrade? How will the upgrade benefit me? How will this incorporate with the use of the vehicle? You get so many questions that you got to have an answer for if you believe in the product.
Yeah.
People with no money spend money faster, willy-nilly. Oh, it looks good. Oh, no, I thought it was going to be this color. Oh, I know you showed me 20 colors. Well, I'll just buy another one. Oh, bill is due. Oh, I don't have that much. I'm trying. Here we go. I'd be like, go, girl. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Oh,
Well, yeah, man, it's just one of these things, man. On a Saturday, you know, it's been a long work week, but people out here, man, they need to get their head out the sand, right?
correct.
But man, Lamborghinis, Porsches. We've done things with SATA, 3M. I've been to classes. So people are like, man, yes, we've been in class, ICAR certifications. And paint is a technology, right? Some people look at it and be like, oh man, paint is paint. You wouldn't believe, some people cannot even stand a toner costing $1,700, right? They just think, oh man, that's paint. Quality, baby. Quality.
Yeah, that's what you're paying for is quality. You're right.
Yeah. You're paying for the quality and you're paying for the ingredients like Papa John's. They got homemade ingredients. Guess what? Those homemade ingredients I got to buy from the grocery store. And that's called a paint provider, right? Vendor. So if he tell me this pepperoni just went up 300%, and I purchased that pepperoni because I needed to make that piece of meat to make the color in order to match factory paint. But then the customer comes in and say, man, I'm so used to paying $5 for pizza. Baby girl, the pizza ain't designed for you because you can't afford it. I don't know why it costs so much. Well, because you're not an engineer that engineered that color and had the patent to it, right? I'm just a middleman just to provide the service. Now, I tell you what, you could build up this big old shop and do it yourself, but it's the price of everything. We have things from what we call tack rags. That's what you do to prep the panel, the glass white before you apply the paint, the base coat.
Correct.
Well, tack rags used to be $1 and like 15 cents. $1.15. It was a disposable. It is a consumable in a paint and body shop. Well, it costs $5 a piece now. So that's inflation, right? Then you look at paint. Yeah, people are like, oh, well, some of this paint is made in Germany. Some of it is made in France. You got paint coming from all across the world. And it's a tax, it's a tariff on it. So now paint goes from like in just a quarter, I mean to say.
Correct.
Because next quarter, it's going to go up. Every quarter, and when you guys hear paint and body shops say, hey, man, it's cheaper for you to go ahead, it's going to be more affordable for you to do it today than tomorrow because the market is no written. It used to be where you lock into a yearly rate for your products and materials. That used to be the case. Now companies, they don't even lock in. They won't even, no, man. They talking about, oh, man, that's ancient. You were like, dude, you were just doing that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, you was locking in. And this is where, the people, these small businesses could be very competitive, but at the same time affordable.
Yeah. Well,
but now
I think though, especially with the collision business, and paint and body collision, say it that way. I think that one of the things that are contributing to the cost is the technology side, right? So if anybody's ever got a car painted before, there's a lot you didn't see, there's a lot you did see, right? And in your mind, you're just looking at somebody spray painting your car, right? He taped it, or it's just prep, and they spray painted it, right? That's the Aeroshine way. Let me say it that way.
Yes.
And Aeroshine is legendary. Don't get it twisted. But the way things are now, everything is so technical. This is no longer, okay, I'm going to pour a little bit of this and shake it up for 20 minutes and let it spin. And now I've got candy red. This is more, the computer is actually putting in.
Doing it. So,
putting everything together.
So what we got, a vehicle, when we get a vehicle in, it has to be calibrated. Okay, calibration from manufacturer recommendations, insurance companies make sure that the vehicle is calibrated. And then vehicles got to be decalibrated in order to remove parts, things of that nature. And when new parts goes back in, vehicles got to be recalibrated. And people are like, well, why is that? Like, for instance, if you guys got adaptive cruise control, all right, from the factory, if you read your owner manual, it would tell you when the vehicle will start applying brakes, right? It would tell you, all right, if a car is 100 feet in front of you, it's going to start applying brakes at 98 feet, right?
Yeah.
So you got to remember that the technology was calibrated from the factory in order to know it, learn it, and apply it. But when you get a paint job, the little radar sensors on the side of your car, they go beep, 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 beep. They got to be calibrated. And the machines to calibrate these sensors on your car, they cost north of $20,000. An average cost is $20,000. All right, and you have to pay for a monthly subscription. Monthly. Since I always get updates about that vehicle from the manufacturer. The tool is nothing without the subscription. So that's another overhead cost. Then, all these vehicles are majority plastic. You have to purchase specialty tools.
Correct.
Especially plastic tools. Right? And then you get the mechanical side. So, that's why body shops, collision centers now has a mechanical side, because you got to have a well-trained mechanic in order to complete the paint job. It's no longer what we used to think. It takes two different industries to make one outcome. Occupational fields. Correct. And technology is here. The more technology your vehicle got, like, for instance, fun things like your vehicle, when you open up the driver door, it primes, your fuel pump turns on. People are like, yeah, you got a program there. So if I got to replace the door, hook the door from the car, now I got to reprogram the car to activate, and then you got to do the timing of it. So that's when people get in their car and they turn the key, they're like, oh, man, my car's always ready. It comes right up. Well, when you open up the driver door, it primes the engine, turns on the fuel pump. You just don't hear it. Or when you turn on your windshield wipers, your brakes are adjusting. Yes. How do the car know when it's raining outside? when you turn on the windshield wipers. All right, when you turn on the windshield wipers, it changes the braking.
Mm-hmm.
Your braking is a lot more firmer. You're like, huh? Yeah, your car is doing that. Your car is doing that.
And seeing people,
or when you turn on the headlights.
Yeah, but people don't understand why these cars are costing so much. And basically, it's the technology that you're not seeing.
Yeah,
what's costing these cars a lot of money.
Yeah, like the cars now, with the automatic headlights, automatic high beams, or turn by wheel. When you're turning the wheel, how do the headlights track the steering wheel? Right. So much technology, or your airbag, or the seconds for airbag deployment. That your car knows where everybody is at in that vehicle by the seat sensors, right? And these things has to be recalibrated when your vehicle is involved in an incident or accident. And so that's why paint jobs cost so much, or when we remove things from the vehicle. The bumper jobs now are people are trying to still believe that myth, or it's not a myth, but try to get the same price of $350.
For what?
I can't paint a bumper for $300. I can't paint a bumper for $350. We no, it's like, no, you can't do it. And most people don't realize that, hey man, that car you have, I don't care if it's a Kia. That Kia has some of the state of the art technology incorporated into that vehicle. And the machine that's needed, and the training that's needed to communicate to that vehicle cost.
Correct.
It's just the cost of doing business. It's very fun. It's very expensive. But at the same time, you get more aware of a car is just not a car.
Yeah, not
this
anymore.
This thing is trying to protect your life when you're not even paying attention. It's not even like people don't know that right behind the mirror, it's a radar that scans the reflectors on the highways. That's why you see these highways now with the little dividers, with the highly reflective white line, or the white square, or the yellow square, the red.
Mm-hmm.
It's communicating with the car. The car can identify color. The car will be able to tell you're going the wrong way. Stop. And it will apply brakes. And then the car can do the reverse to keep you in your lane. And people are like, okay, well, when the car takes over the steering wheel, it's applying the brakes. When it's applying the brakes, it's controlling the throttle. And it's adjusting your seat belt. People are like, oh, man, the harder you hit the brake, the tighter your seatbelt gets.
That's true. Yeah. That's something. I mean, besides this big old gut causing that problem for me, but yeah, I have. Yeah, man, one too many chili dogs over here. But yeah, I have. I've always noticed that. Just never thought too much about it. I mean, that's a problem.
But your car is talking. So what your car is doing is saying, let me protect him. He's about to be involved in an incident. And the car goes through its pre-stages. It goes through the pre-stages. You don't feel it. You don't know what else the vehicle is doing.
Correct.
It's already applying brakes. Is adding more brake pressure. Is decreasing the throttle.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't take the car. I was late on the insurance.
Oh man, don't do it. And man, don't get me started on the insurance, but that's a story for the next day.
Yeah.
When people, hey, this is what I can tell you till conversation piece having me back on. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me share a little wisdom to y'all. Your insurance is worth it. Okay, no matter what you hear, your car insurance is worth it. It's worth it. If you're driving around here with anything that's a 2018 and newer, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, because you can't afford those parts out of pocket. And we're
No.
not talking about big parts, right? Just some of the sensors alone will have you draining your checking account if you're trying to do
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that's
you're looking at a.
Well, I was going to say
Go
that's
ahead.
why you have so many cars now that are somewhat being totaled, and you say, why did they total this car and the frame's not bent? They're not worried about the frame. It's those sensors, the amount of money it costs to replace some of these sensors, especially these affinities. Man, they just told it on.
They were told it. Yeah. Oh man, yes, it's the sensor, it's the programming. And people were like, oh well, it's no longer all right. The frame, the unibody, the structure, that's been around since the beginning of time. Insurance company is fully aware of it.
Correct.
It's the technology. It's the technology where the insurance have to be able to have that car repaired back into pre-accident condition, meaning just good as OEM.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, certain accidents totals out the vehicle. I've seen a vehicle, a Nissan Altima. Driver, she ran into something kind of high. Well, the hood and the passenger fender was crunched, and this speed was probably roughly 15 miles an hour. And she was thinking, oh, it's just the hood, fender, the front grille, the front bumper. He didn't hit another vehicle. She just hit a standstill object.
Correct.
Well, the frame was designed to take impact on how it was designed. So basically, the frame split in half. And she was only going like 15 miles an hour. But the car was designed to absorb that energy. And a lot of people don't realize that your hood is designed to take that energy, because that's why your hood never goes through your windshield when you run dead into something.
That is true.
The hood doesn't go through the windshield. Tell me when the hood went through. You start getting into these things. You're like, wow, the technology. And once it's done, it's done. Even on crash tests, they show you how they would take a vehicle and just hit the edge of the vehicle into something. That vehicle is total. It's designed to help you, because most people are not paying attention. They're in the parking lot and they hit something at the edge.
That's right.
But yeah. But anyway,
Well, all right, brother. Listen, I ain't going to hold you up too much longer, because we went over a little over an hour, which is about what I wanted to do anyway. And we're going to have you back on one of these days. We got the video going and see what you got going on in the shop.
All right then, brother. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, brother. Yep. Later. All right, everybody. Y'all know who that was. Y'all haven't seen him in a while, so glad he called in. I wanted him to call in so everybody can see what he's been up to, because I know everybody been like, man, where's OB at? Where OB at? And then you see me trying to do something by myself. Like, okay, what's going on with these guys? Now you see, because we know how speculation, people just start talking, spreading lies. So everything's good. Ain't nothing going on. People just working, trying to get on this grind, right? It's 2025. So, but listen, man, to everybody that came by, I appreciate it. Like I said, be doing more of these, but my thing is always a little more political. And, I'll be honest with you, if that ain't your forte, I don't know what to tell you, right? But, that's kind of my thing, and that's what we're going to rock it and roll with, of course. Say a couple things about a couple of drivers. Trucker Brown, hopefully you're getting better. I did hear about he had some issues going on a couple of weeks ago, and I see he's been posting. I did get a text concerning Urban Network. Apparently there is some stuff going on with him. I think he's back home or in the hospital. So I don't have his Cash App or anything to put out here, but if anybody talk to him, see how he's doing, just tell him Theo asked about him. He's a good brother. And this is 2025 is really letting us know. And this is for everybody that's driving a truck. We've got to focus a little more on our health, myself included. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the pillar of health, but we've got to do better. I think a lot of these guys they're at an age where I personally feel they shouldn't be dealing with some of this stuff. But health is not an age thing, and I will admit I've had health issues, and I've ignored a lot of those health issues. But it put me my back against the wall. I had to rectify them, right? So that's what I always try to tell people. Matter of fact, I remember when I first came on YouTube, it was on Josh Longino's channel, and I was talking about health, and we got into trucks a little bit, but I was kind of talking more about health. And man, they like to ran me off there that day. They're like, I don't want to hear about that, right? And I get it. These are younger guys, and when you're younger, you're invincible. Been there, done that, right? But I can tell you now, um, the things that you put your body through when you're in your 30s, you're going to start paying the price for it when you get in your 50s, right? So on that note, we'll be back again next week. Um, we'll just talk about what's going on in the world. And like I said, I'm going to get everything right. So if those want to call in, you're welcome to call in. I'll drop the number down. I just want to make sure I get the sound right. If not, sometime I drop the link, see who wants to come up. And sometimes it's just me and my mug running my mouth, right? So, but until then, like I said, everybody, just kind of, stay on top of your health, man. We got some good brothers out here, and we're starting to see that they're not taking a turn for the worse, but there are some issues that they're going to come through, right? They're going to get through it. And shout out to Trinity Cargo. I remember she was um, looking at some things with breast cancer. I'm not sure what stage it was and everything. And I haven't seen her. I've seen her a couple times on TikTok, but as far as her being on anybody's panel, I haven't seen her in a while. So if anybody talks to her or anything, um, just say, hey, Theo asked about how she doing. Like for everybody, I don't know half these people personally, but I do know that, going through a health scare, no matter how major or how minor or major, I'm saying major first, right? No matter how minor or major it is, I like to just keep up, see how everybody's doing, because health scare affects the family, not just that individual family, and it just keeps going on and on and on. And with that, of course, we got Ghost lining up the comments. So I'm gonna read to y'all what he's putting down. I don't know why Ghost ain't just call in. I got the number up there. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We're not even that far apart. We probably like if I had to drive where Ghost is, maybe 2 hours, if that much. I don't even think it's that far apart. But he did say, hey, health is wealth. Hey, now wait a minute, Ghost. Now, if you need some work done on your truck, the floors, don't worry about it. We can work some price out. Ain't nothing free, but we can work price out. Black seed oil, garlic, ginger. Stop eating fried chicken. You can get out of here with that, Ghost. But I agree. We need to stop eating the fried. Well, I can say we. You need to stop eating the fried chicken. And to my other brothers, my older brothers, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all need to stop with the microwave popcorn, because microwave popcorn has been known to cause heart disease. I'm gonna say that one more time. For those who love to put that Orville Redenbacher in the microwave, it does causes heart disease. So if you gotta have popcorn, get it the old way. Pop it yourself. That's what I do. So with that, and he says no honey pack. Yeah, hey man, listen. If you guys got to mess with these honey packs, these blue chews, just go to the doctor. See why your blood flow ain't working right. Figure that out, right? Because these honey packs and blue chews. I apologize. I'm getting tired. These blue chews and honey pack, they're causing more problems down the road. So and we're all men, we're adults. So if you're having these problems with erections or staying longer, then first thing you need to is go ahead and get that blood work done. See what's going on. Make sure you got good circulation. And you're gonna have to change the diet, because what we ate years ago, and if we're still eating that same thing, it's just not conducive for the body. And every man knows, whether they want to admit it or not. I'm a man. When we're starting to have doubts down there, that's when we are really starting to have the health issues that are going to be persistent and coming up. So if you guys think you need a honey pack, go to the doctor. If you think you need Blue Chew, go to the doctor. Hey man, I'm old with mine. That Secret Gin, they ain't never failed me yet. So y'all can get all your honey pack you want, but that Secret Gin has always done it for me, kept me upright. And like he said, stop with the he's giving with these African pills. Yeah, y'all need to leave them African pills alone. I don't if that's what you're doing, best of luck to you. That's all I can tell you. But listen, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody came by, the 6, 7, 8 that came by. And like I said, be doing it again. And for those that I gave out, Trucker Browns, Urban Network, Trinity Cargo, there's a couple more I can't remember now, but those three is pretty easy to remember. If anybody talk to them, reach out, see how they're doing, and get back to me. Let me know. Like I said, always concerned with someone's health that's coming into a play because I understand what that does to you financially and mentally. So at that point, it's not about me. It's not about what I think about you, whether you like me or not. It's irrelevant, right? If you're having health issues, I'd rather you take the time and get that dealt with. And guess what? Once you take care and get it straight, we can come back and fight another day. But I can't fight you if you ain't here, if that's an incentive. So other than that, y'all, hey, listen, I appreciate everybody came by, but long day at work, so Theo's going to have to get some rest. So we're going to basically just leave out here and put a video up, let it play and do his thing. And I appreciate everybody coming by. We'll do it again.